Do you think if Trump was on Twitter the last 6 months, it would have made any difference on what happened last night?
No.
Any one of you? You're
I think it would have got worse.
Okay, Tyler's saying no, so all of you, you're saying no as well, or do you think he would have been able to influence some of it?
I don't know, but I would say this real quick. Maybe at the end of this, I could just make my case on why I wouldn't write Donald Trump off yet. I think he's very much still the front runner to be the Republican nominee. We can talk about that a little bit. DeSantis was a big winner. He has presidential aspirations. I think it's obvious. But I have to say that one thing about Donald Trump is he's been written off many times and he always comes back. And when that Billy Bush tape came out, and during the race with Hillary, and the whole Republican establishment started abandoning their nominee and were urging him to get out of the race, who'd have thought he would have endured and survived and overcome that? So it's a very different day in politics today. My hope for President Trump, I have a bias, of course. I'm grateful for what he did for me. And I think he's really led our country in many ways in a positive direction. I think it's part of this realignment that's appealing to Latino voters and black men and all the rest joining the Republican Party. I think President Trump has reached out to a different voting bloc and group to try to broaden the Republican Party and recognize the demographic shifts in our country. I'd like to see him become more the uniter. And I don't know that he has that in him.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You're Chicago. So
Yeah.
Chicago, you know who's the greatest basketball player of all time. His
You're right.
picture is right there.
Yep.
Okay, Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time, right? You believe that?
I do, and I had dinner with him once. It was fantastic.
So you put him as the cream of the crop.
Number one.
Is it fair to say we all believe the same
Yes.
thing? He's
Yes.
the greatest of all time. Okay, fair
Michael
enough.
Jordan over LeBron James any day of the week.
100%.
So let me ask
There's
you.
no Jordan deniers here, right?
Yeah.
No Jordan.
But here's the
Good.
question, though. Here's the question. Be Michael Jordan for a second, okay? The saying has been, he's the Jordan of ... And that's been the case for 25 years, okay? That label, the name, if you were to say how many times people said he's the Jordan of ... the number's going to be in the billions. We're using it regularly, right? Brady doesn't have that. Nobody says Gretzky. Nobody says Willie Mays. Nobody says Babe Ruth. Everybody says the MJ, the Jordan. Okay. Do you think Jordan deep down inside is a little bit threatened about LeBron passing him up? You think Jordan a little bit inside is not happy about the fact that if LeBron passes 40,000 points, if he wins one more chip, gets 5, do you think the market's going to start saying, listen, man, I think that guy, do you think he's threatened by it at all?
No.
You're saying 0.
I'm saying no.
You're saying 0 or no?
I'm saying he's not threatened.
Okay.
MJ has
What
the
would you
number
say?
one mantle.
What would you say, Rod? What would you say?
I would say yes.
I would say
he's
yes as well.
incredibly competitive.
I think
It's
he's
what makes him so
incredibly
great.
competitive,
Yes.
right? Like the comment about, hey, what do you think about this kid, Kobe Bryant, the way he's guarding you? Well, he stole all my moves. Like, that's
Right.
still a dig, right? He stole all my
That's
moves.
what Trump
That guy,
says about DeSantis.
right. So
Right.
that's the part where, for me, the comment he made, Trump just made a comment. He said what? This sanctimonious, right? He says Trump mocks Governor DeSantis as Ron the Sanctimonious at Pennsylvania rally. How do you think Trump is feeling last night? Going to sleep? Not even going to sleep. He's up all night last night because Marjorie Greene, Kerry Lake, all these guys. He's making phone calls. He's doing speeches. He's doing all this stuff. How do you think he feels that no matter what he looks, what he reads, everyone's talking about DeSantis? Knowing him as a true competitor, that he has to come into a room and everybody stops for him, how do you think he feels knowing DeSantis is now the superstar of the right?
Like Michael Jordan and LeBron James, just like that. And Trump is a tremendous competitor, and the presidential race is a marathon, not a sprint. And DeSantis looks really good right now. Trump didn't have the best possible night. On the other hand, some of his candidates still won. J.D. Vance won very well. I still think Kerry Lake is going to win in Arizona.
By the way, nobody thought that was going to be happening. J.D. Vance wasn't like it was going to be a slam dunk win.
And go take a look.
Yeah.
He was
Arizona
outspent 4-1.
Yeah, exactly. So you still think Kerry Lake's going to win?
I do, and I still think put your money on Trump to be the Republican nominee. You can have a lot of candidates in that race. DeSantis is very compelling, but he's LeBron James to Trump's Michael Jordan among the Republican voters. And when you have a split vote like that, 35% of the loyal, diehard Trump voters are going to carry Trump to victory in most of those primaries.
By the way, if you're watching this podcast, we can fit 300 people here. We're going to do a live podcast with people being able to come here live, but we're going to do it when we cross 500,000 subs. If you're enjoying this format, the set, and what we're doing, give us a sub, click on the notification, and give us a thumbs up. Do you agree with Rod just said, Adam?
About
Trump being the
about
front
Trump
runner.
and DeSantis, the fact that, DeSantis is LeBron, Trump is
Listen.
Jordan, in this kind of an argument.
clearly, Trump is threatened by DeSantis. Clearly, Trump views himself as, the holy of all holies. To use the Michael Jordan LeBron analogy, right? The reason that I don't think LeBron will ever be on Michael Jordan's level is because at the end of the day, what do you judge people on? Championships. Bill Russell is one of the greatest players ever because he has 11 championships, okay? MJ was 6-0 in the finals. What's LeBron's record? Like, I don't even know if it's 500, to be honest with you.
4 and 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
So just on that basis, you have someone who's 6-0, has never lost in the finals, and you have someone who's obviously an amazing player, probably will go down as number 2 of all time, but is not even batting 500 in the finals. So to use the Trump analogy, Trump, I think, is more of a LeBron than an MJ, because what's Trump's record over the last 8 years, 6 years?
1-1.
You want to say 1-1 in presidential elections.
Yeah, presidential
But when it
elections.
comes to midterms, he lost in 2018, he lost in 2020, and now he technically lost in 2022.
To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.